Hi everyone. I trust you are doing well. It's been a while. I think I've been getting lazier and lazier. So anyway, here we are again. It's quite cold in Edmonton, so we're all bundled up. Hey, tonight I'm going to be talking about excellence. Excellence attracts adversity. Excellence attracts adversity. And when I say excellence, you probably guess that I'm going to be speaking about Daniel. Because in Daniel chapter 6, this morning, when I was reading it, it gave me a lot to think about. You see, Daniel was made a satrap, like some kind of overseer. I don't know what that means. And he distinguished himself. Oh, my music is too loud. Hang on. Okay. So it says, because an excellent spirit dwelt in him, the king gave thought to setting him like over the whole realm. So because he demonstrated excellence, the king had a plan to put him over the whole kingdom. But when you go to the verse 4, this is Daniel chapter 6, it says that the governors and satraps, they tried to find a charge against Daniel, but they could find no fault except for something to do with if it was to do with his faith. So that tells me that when you demonstrate excellence, you attract adversity. By adversity, I mean envy, what have you. So these people sought to bring a charge against him. They said they looked, but they couldn't find anything. So you know that Daniel was a man of integrity. So he absolutely, if they could find no fault with you, then it tells me that you are an upstanding man. So anyway, they knew that he was a very prayerful man. He was a believer. So they sought to frame him. They went to the king and told the king to make a decree that nobody was to pray to any other thing or any other god except to the king. And if anybody went against it, they would be cast into a den of lions. So the king also signed it. Now, I know that this king, I believe it's King Darius. So I thought to myself, I asked myself a few questions like leaders. You can have good leaders, but sometimes the people around you will influence you. So I can't say, I haven't read any commentary yet on it. So I'm just wondering about how easily he, went ahead and signed that decree, right? So anyway, when the decree was signed, Daniel, he didn't panic. He went home and he prayed. It's not like he locked any windows. He was in full view. They saw him. And so word came back to the king. And the king could not go against the decree because once this decree is written, it cannot be revoked. In fact, it's in two places. The verse 8 says the king signed the decree to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. And the verse 12 says the same thing. The thing is true according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. So which means that Daniel found himself in a fine pickle. And because he was a man of such integrity, the king loved him. The king had such a heart for him that he did all he could. He said that he strove day and night to make sure he tried any which way to try to get Daniel out of that trouble. At the end of it, he had to say that, his God that he serves continually, he's hoping that Daniel's God whom he serves continually will deliver him. So of course, that is exactly what happened. Daniel was delivered. So going back to what I started with, excellence attracts adversity. So when you try to rise up from your circumstances, you attract adversity. Is it going to stop you from doing that? Excellence takes a lot of discipline. Daniel was a man of discipline. Earlier on, I believe probably Daniel 1 or so, when they first came into the kingdom, they came as captives. He refused to defile himself with the king's food. He just was eating vegetables and what have you. So this is a man who's very principled. The lessons here for you and I, that laziness, you can't have excellence when you are lazy, or you can't have excellence if you are fearful. You're afraid of what people think, so you don't want to strive to do better or do well in anything. You need commitment to improve yourself and to grow. And excellence is not a competition. If we are serving God, for example, there's no room for any competition. Nobody is competing with anybody. You're just serving your God, and you try to do the best you can. You do it with all your strength because you're doing it as unto the Lord. As a human being, you've been brought on this earth and you have goals. You may have your goals, or you may have some God-given talent that you need to work on to be a blessing to others. And are you going to say, because of what people think or what people say, you are not going to do that? You need to strive to be the best that you can. Daniel was not afraid of opposition. He was not afraid. Even after the decree was signed, that is when he went and prayed. He didn't hide under a table. He didn't hide under a chair, close the curtains in his room. He went and prayed, and people saw him praying. That's why word got back to the king. Excellence is something you have to strive for. We can all just sit around doing nothing and be the same. It doesn't matter. If you have friends and you're afraid to displease them, oh, why are you bothering yourself with this? Why are you bothering yourself with that? It doesn't matter. Just stay where you are. And because you're afraid and you want to please people, so you limit yourself. You can't do that. You have one life, just one life. And maybe God has put you on this earth to be a blessing to somebody, and you need to be about that, so that that blessing will reach that individual. Our lives that we're living is not just about us. Yes, we're living for ourselves. We want this, we want that. We all have, goals and what have you, but we have a greater purpose that we are called to. So as you go about anything that you're doing, do it well. Do it well. You don't want to be known for somebody who's lazy, a slacker. You can't be depended on. If you are asked to do something, then you do a shoddy job. You can't be trusted. Nobody can rely on you. You have to be dependable. You have to be dependable. To cultivate an excellent spirit, you need to be a prayerful person. You need to be a hardworking person. You need to be diligent in everything that you do. You need to set an example for others to follow. So that's my 2 cents. I just thought I'd come and share something on Daniel that I read this morning, that, when you try to pursue excellence, you attract adversity, but you need to stand. You need to stand. In the end, you get the victory. Daniel got the victory. The people who plotted against him, they got thrown into the lion's den, and all their bones were broken. They and their family, they got eaten up by the lions, but God closed the mouth of the lion and Daniel was delivered. So when you're facing adversity as you are pursuing your goals, do not give up. Do not give up. Don't give up. Just keep pushing. Thank you for listening. God bless you. I'll come back sooner than later. I've gotten lazy, but I'm going to pick it up again. So I thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.